a problem. A meta-theory is a theory about a theory. Meta-problem is a problem about a problem. In particular, it's the problem of explaining why we think there is a problem about consciousness. So there's a first-order problem, the problem of consciousness. Today I'm going to focus on a problem about it, but I'll start by introducing the first-order problem itself. The first-order problem is what we call the hard problem of consciousness. It's the problem of explaining why and how physical processes should give rise to conscious experience. Explain why we believe in God in evolutionary terms. No need for the God hypothesis anymore. Explain our moral beliefs in, say, evolutionary terms. Maybe no need to take morality quite so seriously. So some people, at least, are inclined to take an approach like this with consciousness too. If you think about the meta problem, explaining our beliefs about consciousness, that might ultimately debunk our beliefs about consciousness. This leads to a philosophical view which has recently attracted a lot of interest, a philosophical view called illusionism, which is the view that consciousness itself is an illusion, or maybe that the problem of consciousness is an illusion. Explain the illusion and we dissolve the problem. And I take that in terms of the meta problem, that view roughly comes to solve the meta problem, it will dissolve the hard problem. Explain why it is that we say all these things about consciousness, why we say I am conscious, why we say consciousness is puzzling. If you can explain all that in, say, algorithmic terms, then you'll remove the underlying problem because you'll have explained why we're puzzled in the first place. But if illusionism is right, added to all those perceptual illusions is going to be the problem of consciousness itself. It's roughly an illusion thrown up by having a weird kind of self-model with a certain kind of algorithm that attributes to ourselves special properties that we don't have. So one line on the meta problem is the illusionist line. Solve the meta problem, you'll get to treat consciousness as an illusion. And that's actually a view that has many antecedents in the history of philosophy one way or another. Daniel Dennett, leading reductionist thinker about consciousness, has been pushing for the last couple of decades the idea that consciousness involves a certain kind of user illusion. And most recently, the British philosopher Keith Frankish has been really pushing illusionism as a theory of consciousness. Here's a book centering around a paper by Keith Frankish on illusionism as a theory of consciousness.